How's it rockin', Dween Nation? This is the Dween Sports Podcast. We're about to get underway. But before we do, we'd love if you could like, comment, subscribe, or share. We are posting weekly sports content, and we want to build up the brand that is Dween Sports. Thank you all, and enjoy.
Welcome in, Dween Nation. It's your host, Justin Paez, on February 1st, an early morning Saturday, discussing some fun things. I have Royal Rumble predictions today for the WWE. I got March Madness predictions I'm throwing out there, and I just thought it'd be fun. I know we're a couple months out, and we're getting close to the Combine, and Super Bowl's next week, but why not do a little NFL mock draft, one round, all 32 teams, and we'll start at the top with the Titans here, because the Senior Bowl just happened this week. The Shrine Bowl has happened. So there's some big names that people are talking about that we're just going to throw into a little prediction box here, and make some big picks for the draft that happens in April. But let's start at the top with the Titans. And a lot of people, like I saw Daniel Jeremiah's mock this past week, and he had the first two teams passing on quarterbacks. Pun intended. But I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think that there's no quarterbacks really out there to me in the free agent market. I know some people like Sam Darnold, and he will start next year for one of these teams, because there's just honestly too many teams that need quarterbacks that it's got me a little worried. Like the Saints need a quarterback. We're not sure about the Steelers situation. The Jets, are they going to keep Rodgers or not? We got the Raiders with Aiden O'Connell, so they definitely need a new guy. The Giants obviously have nobody. The Browns, Deshaun Watson's probably going to miss next year, and even with Deshaun Watson there, they still need quarterback. And then you got the Titans. So there's a lot of teams out there that just need quarterback. They're not going to get it though, unfortunately, because to me this draft is just not that deep. And so anyway, I think that they're not going to pass up the opportunity to get one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. And I'm going to start that off with Cam Ward for the Titans. I know he's the odds-on favorite, but I think that the way he played this year, I know he didn't win Heisman or anything, but he was really good, and the Titans need a really good quarterback. I mean, they really haven't had a good quarterback in a long time. I mean, even before Mariota. Like, Mariota was never that to me. Tannehill had some solid outings, and he had that one good year. They made it to the conference championship. And then obviously those last couple of years, Will Levis, yikes, yeah, no. So Cam Ward to me goes at 1, and then 2, the Cleveland Browns. I feel like a lot of people are saying, oh, they might go and get the vet Kirk Cousins, or I don't know, run back with Jameis. Like, none of those to me really get me excited. And the fact that they already are taking on a lot of money from Deshaun Watson's contract, why would they go out and sign a vet who's going to try to get a lot of money from them? I'm going to go with SHEDEUR Sanders for them at 2. I know that's not the flat. I know SHEDEUR Sanders is known as like the flashy guy that everybody, like I could see him in New York would be a lot. That'd be super cool to see. I just don't think Cleveland's going to pass on a quarterback in this draft. And then we go to the third pick with the New York Giants, and they see that the position they're in, they're not going to reach on a quarterback, and so they're going to pair up Travis Hunter with Malik Neighbors, which would be super awesome for this team. And they get Travis Hunter there at 30 overall. Then we go to fourth pick with the Patriots, and I'm going to go with arguably the best talent in the draft, and Abdul Carter from Penn State. They could totally use some pass rush. Then we move to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who obviously they got Liam Cohen now, so I'm kind of thinking maybe they go offense, but they also need some interior D-line help, and I think that's where I'm going to go there with Mason Graham from Michigan to help. They had Arik Armstead there, but it's just nothing too flashy. And their defense is really, to me, the sour part of their team. Especially we got Brian Thomas now at wide receiver. Still got Kirk. He was injured. Evan Ingram was injured a lot last year. So those pieces returning, hopefully they don't cut them anything due to contract stuff. But they're going to help their defense out here and get Mason Graham from Michigan, who is great. Then we go to the Raiders, who have a lot of holes, man. They have a lot of holes. I don't love any quarterbacks in this range. So I think they might go wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, I like that. Ted McMillan would be a great pick here. So I'm going to go with him for the Raiders. he's a big wide receiver. He's a baller. He's going to be their next alpha guy. I mean, they only have Jacoby Myers at wide receiver. That really, I mean, Trey Tucker, and I mean, that tells you enough. Obviously, they got Brock Bowers, but Tech McMillan, Brock Bowers, you could work with that and hopefully throw in a quarterback somewhere. Maybe you can snag a second round quarterback, or if you love Sam Darnold, pay up for Sam Darnold to have some solid weapons. Then we move to the Jets. The Jets, man. Are they going to go with Aaron Rodgers? Are they going to lose DJ Reed in free agency? Should they work at the tackle position? There's some options here. Man, I feel like why would they keep Rodgers? I feel like Rodgers might not even want to play football. And I feel like there's going to be a quarterback rise in this draft. And it could be Jackson Dart. It could be Milroe or Dylan Gabriel. But I think people might see that the success Dylan Gabriel, Bo Nix had with Oregon, and might go Dylan Gabriel here. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the big risk. Dylan Gabriel jumps up. Obviously, we don't have all the combine info, and because, once kind of the few weeks happen before the draft, people start rising big time. And I think Dylan Gabriel could do that for the Jets. He's a really strong pocket passer, and that's kind of what they need. Then we got the Panthers. Wow, the Panthers here, they could go a couple of different ways. I think they attack the O-line, though, to help Bryce Young even more. And they get Will Campbell out of LSU. He's been balling. He's been a great player for LSU. He's my favorite tackle, too, in the draft. Him and Armand would be really great. Then you move to the Saints. The Saints here, they could go Luther Burden. I could see that. They could go Will Johnson. They need corner. They traded away Marshawn Lattimore. There's an underrated corner out of Texas, Jahdae Barron. It's a little far down there. I'm going to go with Will Johnson. I know there's some questions with him, but Will Johnson finds himself in New Orleans at pick 9. After 2023, he was projected to be a top 5 pick. But this year wasn't his brightest year, some injuries, some whatnot. So I think he falls a little bit, but he's still top 10. Be happy with that. Then we got the Bears, and this is where I posed this on one of our episodes with my co-host Genoa, that I could see Ben Johnson seeing his offense saying, wow, we got a lot of talent, but we're kind of missing a stud at one position. And yes, you maybe mention all O-line, but I'm actually going to go with running back. I think that Ben Johnson and them were successful with David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, and you don't want to rely on Swift and Roschon. It's just that's not exciting to me. So I think Ashton Jeanty and DeAndre Swift is a little bit more exciting. And I'm going to go with Ashton Jeanty to the Bears at 10. And what an offense that would be with Jeanty, Caleb Williams, Keenan Allen, possibly Roma Dunze, DJ Moore. I love to see all that. That would be great. Then we move to San Francisco, where they need O-line help. They also could use some pass rush. I'm going to go with a guy that I like here that I just mentioned. And Armand Mimbo from Missouri. He had such a great season this year. That has bolstered him up all the way up here. Then we got Dallas at 12, and they miss out on Jeanty, which I'm not even sure if they would have picked Jeanty here. The Dallas Cowboys are a strange organization, if you didn't know. I'm going to go with wide receiver. I think they would love to pair CeeDee Lamb with Luther Burden, guy that's fast as lightning, and has been a top wide receiver. I think that would be perfect for Dallas. They really need another target there. Then we go to Miami, and I'm going to go with they need some safety help big time. I know safeties usually aren't the highest priority in drafts. They're kind of regarded not as one of the most essential positions, but Malachi Starks is one of the best players on defense in college football. I'm going to go with Malachi Starks there. Then we got the Colts, and their wide receiver room it's average to under average, but their tight end room is one of the worst. So I'm going to go with Tyler Warren here to really set up a great season for them. For Anthony, it's all going to come down to Anthony Richardson, of course, but Shane Steichen and this unit now with Tyler Warren, that's going to be the ultimate test. If Anthony Richardson and them don't make a wild card berth to me this year, you got to start thinking maybe AR is not the guy. But But yeah, and Tyler Warren's really good blocking too, so that it helps with him with AR running, Jonathan Taylor running. So I love that there. To Atlanta, a guy that to me earlier, maybe 5-6 months ago, was regarded as a top 5 pick. Didn't have the best of all years, but James Pierce, man, he's really good, and they need a pass rusher, and they get James Pierce there at 15. Then we move to to the Cardinals, and they need interior D line. They also need corner. Dang, Mike Green is there. He's really jumped up after the Senior Bowl. I could see that, but I'm gonna go more interior because they did draft Darius Robinson last year. I could see Walter Nolan jumping up here. I also have a lot of love for Kenneth Grant from Michigan. I'm gonna go with Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. Then we move to the Bengals, who I could see them going a couple of different ways here, but I'm actually going to have them with Walter Nolan. So back-to-back interior D linemen. Then we move to Seattle. Seattle Seahawks, they have a couple ways they could go. They could go some O-line. They could go some pass rush. You know what? I'm going to go with I could go with Mike Green right here. I really like Mike Green. They said him and Shamar Stewart were the stories of camp. Then you got Kelvin Banks here, though, who is listed here as a tackle, but he can play guard. He's not the biggest tackle. You know what? They really need to work on the offense more to me, and I'm gonna go with Kelvin Banks at 18. Then we move to Tampa Bay, where they need some pass rush as well. Is Levante David coming back for another year? They could use linebacker and corner. Man, they do need some fixes on that defense. I'm gonna go with Mike Green. He really made a name for himself this past week. Then we go to Denver at 20, and they could use wide receiver. And Mika Ibuka's there. I know, obviously, they got Matthew Golden, who I really like, which is hard to say. I know I'm an Aggie, so that's not super fun. But I'm going to go with Matthew Golden. He's been really good for Texas this year. Pittsburgh, they also need wideout. Maybe they just go back-to-back and get a wideout. Yeah, they give them Emeka Egbuka. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. We're going to continue with offense, too, because the Chargers, to me, have one player written all over their draft pick this year, and he goes by the name of Colston Loveland. Obviously, Harbaugh's got the history with Colston Loveland as he coached him at Michigan, so I really like that there, and they need tight end. I mean, they only had Will Dissly running out there, Stone Smart. It just wasn't going to do it for them. Colston Loveland would be really great for them. Then we got the Packers. The Packers could use a corner. Yeah, because Jair Alexander is really good, but he's been injured a lot, and then they really don't have that star, too. I'm going to go with Jahdae Barron there out of Texas. Then we got Minnesota, the Vikings. What could they do here? I think they could attack some O-line. There's a really good player out of Bama. Why is he so low on here? I really like him, though. Tyler Booker. Josh Simmons is good, too. I'm going to go with Tyler Booker, though. I think he'd be really good for the Vikings. Then we go to Houston. They need O-line pretty darn bad. And there's another guy that was killing it in the Senior Bowl that I think could – obviously, there's Josh Simmons staring right in my face. But I really like Gray Sable. Sable has been really good. I'm going to go with him there. And I think that's a D'Amico kind of guy right there. That would be really good for them. Then we go to the Rams. The Rams. What could they do here? They need a couple fixes on the O-line. They could use some defense at corner. Benjamin Morrison's there, but he's got that hip issue people are a little worried about. I'm going to go with Josh Simmons here. Then next pick, we got Baltimore. They could use, they can really use edge. I don't know if I love that. They could use O-line, though. They have some pending free agents, Ronnie Stanley. I'm going to go with Josh Connerly there. Then we got the Lions. Ooh, the Lions. Who could they go with this pick? I like Mykel Williams. I like Shamar Stewart. Shamar Stewart, he is the man. Shamar Stewart's the man. And that's who I'm going to go with. That'd be really awesome. Shamar Stewart in Detroit. Then Washington also needs edge. Why not keep it rolling? I see Jack Sawyer's pretty good. Nick Scorton, Aggie. I'm gonna go with Michael Williams. Then we got Buffalo. They need edge rusher too. And man, I mean, you're seeing them all right here. Nick Scorton could fall though. I think Jack Sawyer's really solid. I'm gonna go with Jack Sawyer. Kind of the story at OSU could be a really good replacement there for Von Miller. Then we got Philadelphia, who to me they don't have a lot of holes. They really don't. Mekhi Becton is a free agent. He's been a solid piece for them this year. Well, there's not really many O linemen I love down here. Donovan Jackson could be a good one. I'll go with Donovan Jackson. Give him there. They need some interior because that's where Mekhi was playing. Donovan Jackson finds himself in the first round, which is cool. I don't know him personally, but I went to middle school with him, so if that gives me some clout, that'd be great. No, but he did go to my middle school. I remember him. He was a baller then. It was already getting offers then. To now, I mean, look at him. That's awesome. He's a national champion. Then we end the first round. Last pick in the first round. Where do I want to go for the Chiefs? Or hopefully we got the Eagles at 32 and the Chiefs at 31. We'll see about that. But as he stands right now, the Chiefs, man, what could they do here? They could use some linebacker. They got Nick Bolton, who is heading to free agency. They could use D-line. I like scoring there. I like Tyleek. I like some of these guys here. Siobhan Ravel would be good. There's a guy Jahad Campbell is pretty solid. Xavier Watts. Man, there's some really good options for the Chiefs here. They could be happy. They could go running back too, with Pacheco being on his last year. Hunt's going to be a free agent. And maybe last time they did that, they got CEH at the end of the first, and that was, you know how that went. Wow, this is a tough one. You know what they could do too, who I haven't picked that I like, is Jalon Walker out of Georgia, linebacker. I'll go with him there. And that is the draft. First round, like that was quick. We had Cam Ward going to the Titans, SHEDEUR to Cleveland, Travis Hunter to the Giants, Abdul Carter at 4, Mason Graham, Ted McMillan, UCC, Dylan Gabriel, Will Campbell, Will Johnson, Ashton Genty, Armand Mimbo, Luther Burden. So we had 2 Missouri guys go back-to-back. Malachi Starks to Miami, Tyler Warren to the Colts, James Pierce Jr. to the Falcons, Kenneth Grant to the Cardinals. The Bengals get Walter Nolan. Kelvin Banks goes to the Seahawks. Mike Green finds himself with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Matthew Golden, wide receiver to the Broncos. That'd be good. Cortland Sutton, Matthew Golden for Bo Nix. That'd be great. They just need another tight end now. Maybe they can scoop up Matthew Golden's teammate in the next round or two, and Gunnar Helm. That'd be super interesting. The Steelers, they definitely need wide receiver. I mean, they could. I don't know what the rumors with Pickens might be getting traded. You never know. But they get Emeka Egbuka there, who is, I think he has the most catches by an OSU wide receiver ever. He broke a record this year. Obviously, he's been there longer than most OSU guys tend to be there. Then you got Colston Loveland to the Chargers, fit with Harbaugh. The Packers get Jahdae Barron, would be really good for them at corner. The Vikings get Tyler Booker, who is kind of, I was listening to somebody and they were saying that Bama regards Tyler Booker as like the Will Anderson of the offense. Like, he is super smart. He's got a ton of energy, and that would be super great. I just realized we had a really solid run on offensive linemen with Tyler Booker, then Gray Sable, who supposedly didn't lose one rep at the Senior Bowl. He was balling. Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. Josh Connerly goes to the Ravens. Then we go into some defense. Shamar Stewart, who I do think by the next couple of weeks, the next month, maybe after the combine, Shamar Stewart might be in the top 20, top 15. He wowed a lot of people at the Senior Bowl, and he's a baller. He's a freak athlete. Then we got Michael Williams out of Georgia, would be super great there. Then we got 2 OSU guys, Jack Sawyer and Donovan Jackson, and then we end the first round with Jalen Walker to the Chiefs. But yes, Dween Nation, that is the first 1.0 mock draft I got for you. And then in the future, me and my brother Genoa will be on this together. We will be diving through picks we'll probably do multi-round drafts because we are the football guys, and that is super fun for us because this is super fun to do. I love mock drafts. Today's been super fun, little episodes. I did a little March Madness predictions. I did a little Royal Rumble predictions. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. If you're interested in more content, please drop a subscribe, drop a comment, drop a share, drop a like. Anything to keep Dween Sports building up. You got JPay, you got Genoa. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. And as always, peace.